Today I'm going to be breaking down a song called Con Lentitud Poderosa from the Risk of Rain 2 original soundtrack. This is a coffee personal request that comes from Slick Serpent, so thank you mate for your incredible support. And boom! A very sad intro with the piano. That chord progression is very ominous. Started to hear more layers. Like a very distorted synthesizer and a glockenspiel, I think. Or maybe it's a xylophone. Oh, it's a solo acoustic guitar with the rhythm guitar, acoustic guitar. Very nice. This transition sounds so progressive metal. Very nice. Oh! Listen to that drum pattern, it's just like... Oh! This reminds me of a prog rock band called Yes from the 70s. That solo was so good. There's like a string in the background. That was really, really good. First section of the second section. So let's break it down. The first part of a song, which is probably like half of it, it's all about low energy and expression. Very specifically in the piano, you can hear a lot of expression in the piano, and I've talked about this in other breakdowns, in which I've said that when you do this sort of less is more approach, the expression of the instrument is crucial to add not only to the premise of the storytelling of a song, but also in the nuances of the articulations of the instrument is where the song actually becomes more three-dimensional and not so plain or 2D, if you will. And of course, then we have the second part, which is basically like a complete contrast. And I often think about this approach in composition as a black and white approach, in which you have one part of a song that is absolutely drastically different from the other one, but of course there is a sense of connection or similarity in where the storytelling of the song is, because as you could hear in the intro of a song, or the first part I should say, the theme is preserved in the second part, so it's like a transitional. It's like the device that unifies two parts that otherwise will be seemingly very drastically different. You know what I mean? Now, diving a little bit further into the song, I did say that the second part of the song specifically reminds me a lot of this prog rock, 70s prog rock band, although they were in the 80s too and whatnot. But they were very influential in the 70s prog rock scene, a band called Yes. However, I think that the song has a pop sensibility all throughout. In the first part, we have the piano arrangement, which is very reminiscent of a song like Imagine from John Lennon. You know, you have this very simple chord progression in the piano, but at the same time, it's composed, or it's performed with such amount of nuisance and delicacy, that's the word, where you can hear, you know, the differences in between some of the chord progressions. Like some of them you can hear are more accentuated because they're trying to tell you something specific about where the storytelling of a song is, and other notes in the chords sound a little bit more with less presence, you know what I mean? And of course, as the song goes along, we start hearing more layers added to the song, but at the same time, it's still preserving the very same premise of the low energy. These layers are very unassuming in a way. They're not overpowering the song at all. I think there's like an organ, a very almost droning organ that is introduced in the first part. And then we start hearing some beautification elements or decorations, if you will, like the acoustic guitar, that is starting to signal where the song is going in terms of the second part that we hear. And speaking of the storytelling of the game, I think certainly this song communicates that this is the conclusion to the story. in the second part, you know, sounds so big, and obviously the layers, all the layers that are involved in the song, because now we have an actual drum kit playing, doing a lot of accents and keeping actually the patterns fairly simple to give like room to the other more expressive in a way instruments. Those kind of arrangements also are connected to that pop sensibility that I was talking in the first part of the song. And based on those things, I can't help but bring back the premise of the 70s prog rock bands and prog metal too, because it basically all of that, it's just influencing, you know, what came next. And obviously prog metal is very much influenced by, you know, bands like Rush and Yes and Genesis and all and whatnot. They have this common thing in which they would do, you know, themed albums or concept albums, and they would have songs like this that have this big, really big wall of sound ending songs with piercing you know, synthesizers or guitar solos and whatnot. I'm going to give this song a B tier. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out this other Risk of Rain breakdown that I did. And if you would like to support my work further, you can check the support section in the description of this video, where you can find my Patreon and all the other links, alright? Thank you very much.